Hello everyone, and welcome to Round 4, the final round of Swiss in the Generation 3 tournament. As I'm recording this, it is actually the second day of our 6th tournament. Meanwhile, I'm recording the 4th round in the 4th tournament. So, as I said in the previous video, I have some catching up to do, but we will do that. It's the final round of Swiss. I'm almost entirely certain of a top cut. If I win this, I will have won Swiss by winning everything. If my opponent, TJ Rosero, also known as Spenpai Terranon on our server, wins, then they are confirmed top cut. They have 7 points out of the first 3 rounds. Interestingly, they haven't actually played any match yet they have 7 points. How did they do that? Well, one of their wins, I don't remember if this was round 1 or 3, because those were their 2 wins. One of them, he got the win because his opponent said, like, I can't be active this round, here, have the win. And they gave me a good reasoning why that player wouldn't have been able to play. So in that case, I would give the win, because otherwise I kind of reluctant to give wins like that. The other win was based on activity. Spenpai Terranon was just way more active in trying to get the match done, but the match was unable to be completed. And in round 2, the match was unable to be completed, and both players were about as active as the other, so I gave a tie there. So with 7 points, they have a good chance. If they win, they get top cut. If they lose, they still have a chance at top cut with their 7 points. And this is the first match in the tournament. Let's see what their team is like. Let's get started. They have Jolteon, I have Salamence. If only I had Earthquake. They have Hidden Power, and it's Hidden Power Ice. Yep. I was hoping they'd have Hidden Power Grass, but knowing they have Hidden Power Ice, they don't have Hidden Power Grass. Therefore, it's safe to send in Swampert. That's good to remember for the rest of the match. Hydro Pump, it doesn't work. Well, they set up spikes, they set up more spikes. I feel Hydro Pump's my best way, because I don't think I have an like something like Thunderbolt in my team. And even then, they have something like, was it probably Volt Absorb on Jolteon? I believe that's the only ability Jolteon has at this time. More spikes, more Toxic, and I just don't take it out with Hydro Pump. That was really unfortunate. But maybe that's good with all the luck I've been having. Switch to Tyranitar, do take quite a bit of damage. But I feel this is the better way to go. Resist the Shadow Ball. Now we can go into the Crunch. Something you have to remember, which I don't think all people realize, because it's Generation 3, the physical special split wasn't a thing yet. And because that only came in Generation 4 with Diamond and Pearl. So Shadow Ball is actually physical, because it's a ghost type. All ghost moves are physical, which potentially Spenpai Terranon never realized, or at least didn't realize as they were building their team, because you can't change anything on your team during the tournament. I don't actually know this, so Spenpai, if you're watching, let me know if you'd like to. But I don't have any stat moves on Gengar, because Gengar's much better at special attacks, and both of its stat moves, the Poison and Ghost are both physical, so I didn't bother with that. I went to Thunderbolt and Ice Punch to get good coverage. I switch again to Tyranitar. I'm being dealt more damage with the spikes than by Shadow Ball. Interestingly, Shadow Ball lowers special defense, even though it's still physical. And Shadow Ball was introduced in Generation 2, and it's always lowered special defense, but it's a physical move. Why? I don't get it. Destiny Bond comes in. That's a nice play from them. They take out Frozen Beast with them. There are 4 Pokemon taken out. They send in Jolteon. I have Swampert. Could Earthquake do it? They substitute to see what I'll do, but yeah, it is Earthquake that are likely making use of the Toxic, because otherwise they'll be taken out anyway. Well, continuously using substitute until they feel they can take me out with Hidden Power or something else that they might have. I do heal a bit. They take a bit more damage with Sandstorm, and I do like that. Although they obviously heal that up with leftovers again. But the Sandstorm damage comes before the... Sandstorm damage comes before leftovers healing. So if they would have used Substitute again, which I was kind of in a way kind of hoping for, they would have been taken out anyway. But here I'm taken out, but I do have this... I already have the knowledge that Salamence there. I Ice Punch, and that's the end of Salamence. Which means 1-0. Looking pretty good. They have some dangerous, but there's 4 Pokemon on their team that are immune to Earthquake. Not just Skarmory, which is they switched in at the start of the match. They have Gengar with Levitate, they have Flygon with Levitate, and Salamence as a flying type. Ductrio could be dangerous with Arena Trap. Defensively, Ductrio isn't very strong, but with Arena Trap, that could be very dangerous. Like, they could really get one of my Pokemon. But Salamence isn't too afraid of Ductrio. Gengar isn't either, because I don't think Sucker Punch is a thing yet. That came in Gen 4. And otherwise, it would be a special move anyway, and Ductrio it wouldn't be as strong on Ductrio. It could be bad, but there's certain type advantages that I can certainly make use of. So let's just see how the second battle in this match will go. They start with Skarmory, and I start with Salamence, expecting their Jolteon, I think. They decide to switch with Skarmory, so it worked out for them. And I do have Thunderbolt. What was I talking about? I have Thunderbolt on Gengar here. They have Drill Peck, an offensive move on their Skarmory, so they'll be completely blocked by Taunt. So I don't think I even try Taunt here. I just Ice Punch, predicting a switch, or either that, or I thought that I would be able to take him out with Ice Punch, and in case they switch, I would be able to do more anyway. But most likely, I predicted the switch to Jolteon or Flygon, and against both, these Volt Absorb, Ice Punch would be good. A Hydro Pump miss again. Let's see what their Gengar will do. Energy Ball wasn't a thing yet. Hidden Power Grass, perhaps, not too likely. Less damage from Spikes. Here they have Toxic. I don't have Crunch on this Tyranitar. It's a really physical one. I Dragon Dance. Flygon comes in. That's pretty dangerous. Do I go for the attack? Nope. I just switch to Swampert. Take the hit, which very little damage. This is quite the defensive Swampert. Not a lot of attack investment. It has maybe a little bit, but not much. I Ice Beam. Flygon's gone. Skarmory comes back in, heals a bit with leftovers because switching is before, like, it's not in between turns, it's right when a knockout happens in Gen 3. That was also changed to Gen 4, I believe, which I do like. One other change I really remember from Gen 3 is the fact that poison damage is at the in between turns now and not after Pokemon attacks. I really appreciated that. And in Gen 4, Pokemon being sent in after a turn is done. There's also a thing, let's see, while I was saying that, well, I got crits, but I definitely missed a lot of Hydro Pumps too. Yeah. And then I missed another one. Yeah, I have been missing Hydro Pumps this battle, that is true. Ductrio comes in, doesn't allow me to switch. However, because I do hit the Hydro Pump this time, that's Ductrio gone. Toxic does take me out in the end, I do believe, yeah. But they needed the Hydro Pump miss, and now I definitely have the advantage. I decided to just send in Steel Bird, see what they do. They predict that protect, either that or they just wanted to set up, get it. Dragon ends up, as I said before, with them potentially not realizing that Shadow Ball is physical, they likely also didn't realize that Dragon Claw is special, because all Dragon moves are special in the first 3 generations. So their Dragon Dance into Dragon Claw doesn't actually help them whatsoever, it just boosts their speed. So I give them a poisoning, but if they don't show Fire Blast, or anything else that might be good, then I'm not really afraid here. So I just Toxic once more. They've already used up their Lumberry. Return comes in, which is boosted, so Return doing more than Dragon Claw from a Salamence on a Skarmory, which seems pretty weird. But I just protect to get some more Toxic damage in that way. They have Return. I just set up another layer of strikes because I know that Toxic will do whatever I need, which is KO the Salamence. Jolteon takes a bit more damage because the extra layer of spikes does take out Skarmory, but I don't really need it anymore. Although I suppose if it's only physical moves, like with Sludge Bomb, Shadow Ball, something like that on Gengar, it would have been a nice thing for Gengar, but I let it happen to have his free switch to something else, which I appreciated, which I thought was a good idea. Jolteon, once again, the substitute thing, Sandstorm could take it out if the substitute even works. They just go for Thunderbolt. I take out their Jolteon. They just have Gengar left, and I still have 2 Pokemon if Toxic takes me out here. Not quite. Still 3 Pokemon. Still haven't used Vaporeon. They use Sludge Bomb. Does take out Tyranitar. Submarine comes in, and I do have Salamence in the back in this match, in this battle. Sludge Bomb doesn't deal too much damage. They needed the poison, which doesn't work. They might need to use Toxic, and then for some reason hope that I make some weird calls on my moves. But I wish get my HP back while I damage them through Surf. They Destiny Bond because they feel it's over. I have another Pokemon, so I'm not really sure why. They could have at least tried for multiple crits, or just Toxic, which you're doing now. Doesn't quite happen. I use Surf. Gengar is taken out. And, like, if I suppose I would have signed for this at the start of the tournament before Swiss started. I won Swiss. I went undefeated. I won all 4 of my matches. That is ridiculous, and I don't know how. Well, I know how. Luck. The first 2 matches, round 1 and round 2, were the really difficult ones. This one was pretty challenging. Round 3 was decently challenging. It was round 1 and 2 that were really challenging, that were really close. I lost. I actually was behind in that match, if you remember, and then won game 2 and 3 on both. But, yeah. Somehow I won that with some crits here and there. I suppose I got some misses with Hydro Pump in this match, but I still won in the end, so... I suppose my team is... I feel I do have a good team. I felt it could have been better, but I didn't have the time. I think it was due to school just to practice and things like that. But I felt pretty good about it, and I thought I'd be able to win at least something. And I won Swiss. Does this mean I win the tournament? No. It just means I go into Top Cut. The top 4 out of the 16 participants go into Top Cut. And as I won everything, I go into there as the first place trainer. This means I then face the 4th place trainer from Swiss in the semifinals, and then the 2nd and 3rd place trainers from Swiss face each other in the semifinals as well. And then the losers of that fight for 3rd place. The winners from that will fight for 1st. So if I want to win the tournament, I have to win 2 times in a row. And where in Swiss, you can lose and still move on to Top Cut and potentially still win the tournament, it's now single elimination from this point onwards. If I lose now, I am out. Although I suppose because it's immediately the semis, I still have a fight for 3rd place, so potentially still a medal. But if I lose, I can't win anymore. It's a top 4 finish, which is better than I had expected, better than I had hoped. But can I win? Or will there be a new champion? I'll see you tomorrow in the semifinals.